Liam Coen is the new head coach in Jacksonville. Now, he originally interviewed with them and decided to go back to Tampa Bay. Now, this is why you can't really get happy about anything until the paper, the pen is actually on the paper. Then they fired Trent Baalke, which they should have done from the jump, which everybody said was going to stop them from getting the top candidates. That maybe the Ben Johnson thing would have turned out different if Trent Baalke wasn't there. Interviewed all these people, see if he weren't going. They got rid of him. And as soon as they got rid of Trent Baalke, he came back. Now, the funniest part about this conversation or story is that he stopped answering calls from the Buccaneers. He went MIA on these niggas. They didn't know where he was at when he was coming in to sign the contract. He's on a private jet. The Shad Khan sent and went out there and agreed to the deal. And at the same time, Robert Saleh, his jet just landed because he was interviewing for the head coaching job, which he found out he wasn't going to get. He went back to San Francisco, and he is the defensive coordinator over there once again. He was defensive coordinator when they went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. The first time they played the Chiefs. And that's going to be a good gift for them. But to me, this whole thing is just funny. But also, despite all I think the process was terrible. But at the end of the day, I feel like Jacksonville came out on the right end of this, man. Still being able to get one of the best coaching prospects out there that was available.
I mean, more and more you see why Steve Ballmer locked that nigga DeAndre Jordan in the house. Like, no, what are you doing, bro? People word don't mean what it used to mean no more. So, like you said, until that pen hit the paper, you got to make sure shit is locked, shit is tight. The Jaguars are just a shit show, bro. Like, between the playing multiple games in London, trying to finesse Jacksonville out of, upgrades to the stadium, which I drove fast the other day. It is a piece of shit. Like, it looks bad. But your owner, for you to go into the coaching cycle and say, well, if the right candidate wants to fire him, we'll fire him, with the nigga sitting right next to you, by the way. Why not just let him go? Why not just let him go and actually wipe the slate clean and say, hey, dear, Ben Johnson and every other offensive candidate, you ended up getting Coen, but hey, I have a very talented quarterback. We spent some money last year on some weapons. We have some pieces in place, bro. We just need the right coaching to get this shit right, get it back on track. 2 years ago, we were a playoff team. So for him to not start that from the jump, I know obviously you ended up still with a pretty good candidate, even though he wasn't your number one choice. That's just another example of why I see why people don't necessarily want to go and work for that man, because this is what you get. This is what you've seen from him consistently as an owner. And when you have owners who, like to be all in the videos, all in the way, at least win, at least be good. Like, shout out to the OG Al Davis. He was winning shit. The Raiders were trash when we were born, but back in the day they were cold. So like it made sense him being the guy that he was. Same with Jerry in the 90s. But when you are getting in the way of the product, or you still putting out a trash product, bro, what are we doing here? Like, it's just another ass backwards move from Jacksonville. But I mean, if I'm Coen, hey man, I don't owe you shit. I didn't sign anything. Situations change. And once they fired Baalke, if you Trent Baalke, how bad do you feel?
Exactly.
They've been shitting on you for months, G.
And it changed that quick. A day didn't even pass. It was like 5 hours after he got fired. It was like, oh, Liam Cohen's like, hold on a minute. I think I'll come.
Bro, and Khan probably so dirty, bro. He probably sent them home for the day, and then as he's on his car ride home, the phone rang, and he said, don't worry about coming in tomorrow. We're gonna go in a different direction.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not